Hi Capricorn, welcome to The Modern Spiritualist. My name is Raheem. Today we're going to do the general reading for the sign of Capricorn for December. This is for Capricorn Sun, Moon, and Rising. So if you know your sun sign and it's Capricorn, you're in the right place. If you know your moon and your rising signs, make sure to look for those as well. Keep in mind, these are general readings. Take what resonates, leave what does not. If you would like something particular to your situation, you can schedule something with me privately in the description box below. Go ahead and think about giving this video a like so that other people can see it. Subscribe if you want to see the next Capricorn video, and we will get started. Today, I did a little bit of a different layout than I usually do. I used 3 different decks for kind of an overlay, and we're going to look at 4 kind of sectors here for the month of December. We're going to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. So this should be fun. Starting out with the top here in your health section. We have the Knight of Discs, and a Rider-Waite, this would be a King of Pentacles. Your health looks good overall. I get the sense that you guys are building. Some of you may be changing some of your habits, but with the King of Pentacles, this is basically saying that you may be making changes in small increments rather than making a lot of big changes at once, but you are dedicated to certain changes. So if you're making changes in your diet, it's kind of like maybe you choose to cut out one thing, you work on that for a while, and then you choose to cut out something else later down the line. So this is kind of just like slow, steady progress towards the optimal health or towards the body that you want. This looks good. We also see this with the Two of Pentacles. This is kind of like you finding balance in your life. So in terms of health, this is about you really thinking about what you would like your health and wellness to look like, and then taking the steps to do so. Kind of like we said with the King of Pentacles. Now with the King, this is saying that you know exactly what you do want. You know what your optimal is, which is great. Knowing what you want is the first step, and then all you have to do is take the steps to get there, right? So you're there. You're really in a good place. You may not have like the optimal health or lifestyle or body that you want, but you do know what that looks like, and it looks like you are taking the steps to get it. It looks really good. Two of Pentacles. This is all about you finding balance. So if it just feels like, maybe you have a really good diet, but you don't, you're not in shape, or vice versa. Maybe you're productive during the day and you feel good, but maybe your sleep is being disrupted. I'm seeing that later down the road with this Nine of Swords that we'll talk about in a little bit. So, yeah, keep that in mind. Maybe it's just you need to make changes to your sleep, maybe get on a better schedule, anything like that. But this looks good. This means that what you're looking for in your life is balance, and you're taking action. You're doing the work. All of these cards are upright in your health sector, so it looks really, really good. We also have the Hermit, which basically means that you're not really operating on anyone else's timetable right now. Like, you're really asking yourself what you want and need, and just doing it regardless of the people around you. So, say you're in a roommate situation, right? Or you're living with family or whatever, and they have certain habits or patterns. You may not be necessarily subscribing to them. You may be saying, okay, whatever you're doing is not working for me, so I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to do my own thing, and I'm going to make the changes I need to make. So this is you really kind of being the lone wolf in terms of what you need to do for your own health. You're really not subscribing to the people around you, which is really positive, because this is making sure that you're getting what you need, and that's on an individual basis. So that is fantastic. Health looks really, really good. Wealth. We have the Empress reversed. This might mean that you're I get the sense that you're doing better than you think you are. With the Empress reversed, I'm just kind of getting, maybe there's negative stories that you're telling yourself about where you are. Maybe there's like, I don't have enough, or I'm not enough, or I'm not doing enough stories coming up. The great thing about the Empress is, even in the reverse, there's so much power here. What you can do to take advantage of the reversal is to kind of look inside yourself. Maybe this is what I've been doing recently, and I'm a Capricorn, just doing brain dumps of like all the limiting beliefs that are coming up, and then just changing them to affirmations. You could try doing something like that. I just get the sense that some stories around wealth and resources are coming up for you to clear out and change. But I think you're doing better than you think you are. Try not to beat yourself up too much. If you want more, that's great. That's fantastic. You should want more. But just because you want more doesn't mean you're not okay where you're at, okay? So clear those limiting beliefs. Remember that you are capable of more than you think. And whatever it is that you're going after, you do have the power, the skill, the resources, all that to go after them. And if you don't have the skill or the resources, you can move towards starting to cultivate those things. Okay, so like it's like if you want to learn some sort of practice or skill and you need a teacher for that, just find the teacher. If you need certain resources, get creative, ask for help. There's all kinds of things that you can do, or just take advantage of the resources that you have now and use that as a jumping off point to get to the resources that you do want. So you're doing better than you think you are. Any negative stories that come up, change them to positive, and clear out those old beliefs, okay? We have the Three of Swords. And there's a bit of a color match happening here. I see this like pink and blue, and I do kind of feel these cards interacting really strongly. So I feel like what is happening here is with the Three of Swords, you may have had a recent disappointment. Maybe you were up for a promotion, but you didn't get it. Maybe you were growing your business, but the coronavirus hit and you kind of plummeted. Maybe you lost a big client or lost your job. Maybe you were up for a pay raise and you didn't get it, anything like that. Yeah, I think you're just dealing with recent disappointment, and that may be contributing to the stories that may be coming up around scarcity, or not being enough, or not having enough, etc. What I would encourage you to do is try to see whatever loss this is as an opportunity rather than a failure. Like maybe there was nothing you could do. Maybe not getting the promotion didn't have anything to do with you. Maybe losing the job or the client or traction in your business didn't have anything to do with you. Maybe it was just, a circumstance that involved other people or, situations that weren't in your control. Or maybe it's just, it was a way out of something that ultimately wasn't serving your greater purpose, or you had already learned the lessons from whatever that job or income or whatever it was, and you're ready to move on. And so even if you might have had a disappointment or something that was like jarring, or something taken away from you, maybe you use it as a sign to say, okay, well, maybe that's not my path. And then, ask yourself, what do you want? Be prepared to dream bigger, dare to dream bigger, which is the Empress upright. Try to turn this upright for yourself this month. Dare to dream bigger, envision what you want, clear any beliefs that are getting in your way of your manifestation, and just go for it. Go for the thing that you really want instead of settling for less, okay? And then we have the Page of Pentacles, which means that you are cultivating something. I get the sense that you kind of are right on the beginning of something, but I don't feel like it's brand new. I feel like you have been doing this for a while, even if you're still kind of at the starting blocks of this. But whatever this is, Page of Pentacles upright, this is saying that you have something here. If you just stay consistent and keep doing it, kind of tap into your King of Pentacles, slow, steady progress, right? Tap into your King of Pentacles to see this Page of Pentacles kind of blossom and grow into something that's going to give you payoff eventually. Because even if this money isn't coming in right now, it will later down the road if you keep doing it, okay? So you have something here. Don't give up. Let's look at love. Now, with love, disclaimer, this could be any relationship, including friends, co-workers, particularly if it's like a meaningful relationship with a coworker, you're doing meaningful work together. This could be peers. This could be family. If you're single and happy, this could also just be you and your self-love, your relationship with yourself. Or this could be, if you're single and looking for a relationship, any opportunities, or if you're in a relationship or in a marriage, it could be about that as well. So apply this to whatever resonates for you right now in terms of relationship and love. But we have the Prince of Discs. So this is kind of mirroring the Knight of Discs as well. We actually have a lot of Pinnacle energy. We have this Page, we have the Knight, we have the Prince. And the Prince, so I'm sorry if this is confusing, but for those of you that do know Tarot but haven't used a Thoth deck, the Knight of Discs here is the King of Pentacles Rider-Waite. The Prince of Discs is the Rider-Waite equivalent of the Knight of Discs. So Knight of Pentacles, I mean. So with this Prince of Discs, again, this is about slow, steady progress. You may not necessarily have the end game the way that you do with the King of Pentacles, where this is, you know what you want and you're really in your power right now. This is more like you may not know exactly what you want, but you are headed in that direction and you are taking action. Now, this is slow. All the nights are about action, but this is the slowest moving night. And so this really is about patience and consistency and making sure you're just watering the plant each day, right? Whatever this is. So for those of you that are in a relationship or a marriage, I think things are pretty good right now. It looks like you guys aren't taking something to the next level preemptively. It looks like you're just moving really, really slow, which is great, I think, to ensure that whatever you have is really lasting and it's not growing ahead of its time or anything. You know, this is about not getting lost in the fantasy. This is about looking at the person in front of you and seeing clearly, okay, this is this person, this is me, this is how they fit into my life, and this is how I want to watch our relationship grow. So it's really beautiful because it's kind of like just like watering the rose and letting the rose bud by itself, you know, without trying to force petals open or anything like that. This is really, really good. If you are single and looking, I would use this time to really go over your options. Like if you're considering different people, or dating around, I would encourage you to just keep doing that, honestly. Unless you found something that you're like, I know this is the person. But if you're not in that situation, just keep dating. And through that, going on dates or whatever, you'll figure out what you want in time and just kind of use those dates to get a clearer picture on that. If you're not even dating right now, but you're kind of looking, I would just say, like I said before, continue to just work on your vision of what, you know, an ideal person would be to you. Like, what kind of relationship do you want to be in? And then who do you need to be to show up in that way so that you can receive that partner, okay? We have the Hangman, which means you're looking at things differently in terms of love. If you're in a relationship, this could be, this feels really positive to me. I mean, with this Prince of Disc that you have here and the Hangman, again, what I'm seeing is really, really slow progress. I wouldn't say stalemate, but maybe it just feels like you're in a good spot with your relationship. You don't want to take it to the next step, and you just kind of want homeostasis right now. And I think that's a really comfortable place to be. I mean, obviously you can't stay there forever. People tend to want more eventually. But I think this feels really good right now. It feels solid. It feels like this is a time for you to gain some perspective on things. If you are single and looking, or single, this is about a drastic change in perspective. Maybe you're just looking at love very, very differently than you have in the past. And I get the sense that you're not looking because you're still kind of in the throes of whatever this kind of transformative experience is, where you're looking at love through new eyes. And this is an opportunity for you to kind of let that new information settle before you pursue something further. So keep working on yourself and what you want, okay? King of Swords. You're looking at things really logically. You're not getting lost in the fantasy or the desire in a way that is toxic or detrimental to what's really going on. You're really taking a critical eye to everything and saying, okay, I don't want to settle for less. I want a partner that's really going to bring me happiness and make me feel like I'm the best version of me, right? I get the sense that the King of Swords, for most of you, is probably you. Being really decisive and discerning right now. If this is your partner, then you're in a good spot as well, because it looks like they are willing to really bring a critical eye to the relationship, not in a way that is hurtful. I don't mean they're criticizing you, but I mean they're saying, okay, what in this relationship is working, what isn't working, and if things aren't working, what do we need to do to fix it in like the most diplomatic way possible? So this is really, really positive as well. Let's look at Destiny. Nine of Swords reversed. I like this better in the reverse. But I would encourage you to take a look at your sleep. I said that with health, and I'm going to say it again. I feel like some of you just aren't getting enough sleep, and I think it's like mostly due to insomnia, maybe. So I would just take a look at other options. Is it because you're really in your head at night? Are you already thinking about the next day, or worrying about the next day, or worrying about work or whatever? Yeah, so if you're just unable to wind down, I would encourage maybe some like breathing exercises, or maybe even some supplements like melatonin or CBD, something that will kind of help bring that natural chemistry back. Because if you're having trouble winding down, or if your anxiety kind of spikes at night, that's something that you might want to look at. Because if you're not getting good sleep, then you're not showing up the best you each and every day, and that's also detrimental to your health, which, again, your health looks good, so I wouldn't worry too much. I just get the sense that some of you are maybe struggling with sleep. In terms of Destiny, I just keep getting the health ping. So I think the best course of action right now, in terms of your destiny, is to make sure that you are being the best you that you can be right now. Not to say you can't look at work or anything like that. You absolutely can, and that's a part of this work and wealth and everything like that. I'm not seeing any kind of stopping point in terms of wealth. I mean, obviously you're growing something here, but don't get too sidetracked by work, especially if it's going to be detrimental to your health or your sleep, because I just get the sense that whatever it is that you're kind of working through right now, I keep getting this King of Pentacles ping where this is really kind of your key energy. Are you showing up as the King of Pentacles? Meaning, are you in your power? Are you realistic about your goals? Are you taking action to achieve them? And do you have that vision in your mind of exactly what you want? And are you moving towards that? So I think whatever, in the grand scheme of things, whatever destiny you're moving towards, I think it's really, really essential that you are the person that you want to be. And you have certain things in place, particularly around your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual well-being. Okay, so I think well-being is a really important theme for you for December. That's also, I mean, if you're in the northern hemisphere, that applies to yin time in general, and yin time is the winter. That's when we start to go inward. It's kind of a natural grieving time. It's a natural respite from like the hustle and bustle of, the way that, life shows up. Obviously this year things have been more wound down in general, but you're still going into this yin time, which is a time to rest and recuperate and reflect. So I want to encourage you to really take that time this winter to think about your well-being in terms of your destiny. Because if you can be the best you, whatever it is that you do in the world is going to be a platform in which your unique genius can express itself without restriction. Okay. So yeah, try not to worry too much. I just get the sense that you want things to happen faster than they are, and you're stressed about money. Whatever it is that you're doing, it's like, okay, I need things to pick up because I need to start making more money. But I just also don't get the sense that you're in a terribly bad spot right now. Like, I mean, I don't see any disaster, like losing a house or anything like that. I just don't see that. I think you're okay. And I think you have more time than you think. And I think things are going to pick up. I just get the sense that maybe you're thinking, oh, since it's not happening now, it's never going to happen. And I think it is going to happen. I would just give it some more time. Okay. So the biggest hurdle here is just making sure that you're not too, I see this with the Empress too, you're not too in your own stories, your negative stories or limiting beliefs about what's going on for you right now, because I really do think you're okay. And so any worry or anxiety that comes up, make sure to just kind of flip the script, flip it to those affirmations when you can, because that's how you're going to be able to manifest what you want in the future. You have to really believe it, It's paired with the High Priestess. You're honing your intuition. And that's the well-being piece is part of this. If you can come into holistic union with all the parts of you, and I would also stress, this is also King of Pentacles, I would stress the physical body. What's your diet look like? What does your exercise look like? What does your sleep look like? Because if your body feels good, everything else can build on top of that. It's kind of like making sure the roots of the tree are set in the ground and the trunk is really strong before branches start coming out. And I mean, if we're looking at these branches and these leaves kind of as your wealth, or whatever you're doing in the world that is bringing in those resources and income to you, particularly meaningful work, because I know that Capricorn is all about meaningful work, right? If you're really in tune with yourself, that's the name of the game. So focus on the roots and the trunk right now. The branches will come in time. Allow the roots in the trunk to create a space in which those branches and leaves can naturally start to grow. So really take care of your physical body, because through the care of your physical body, everything else will start to manifest. That includes better emotional well-being, better mental stability, and a better honing of your intuition. Sometimes it's dangerous to cultivate or strengthen that, third eye muscle if your root chakra isn't rooted into the ground, if your sacral and your solar plexus aren't online in a good way and aligned with each other and communicating, because you don't want your mind to spin off kind of on its own thing, intuitive as it may be, without the help of your body, because then you can't actually trust the messages that are coming in. I mean, existence is infinite, so anything could come in, and intuition is about clarity. within your own body and mind, and making sure those things are communicating. But this is in the upright, so you're honing your intuition this month, and you're able to hone that intuition because you are focused on your body and its health. Okay, so this is great. And when you hone your intuition, when you're tapping into that on a deeper level and becoming more intuitive and more detailed with your visions, or your insights or whatever, these stories start to come up, like the Nine of Swords stories, the limiting beliefs, the fear, the stress. It will start to come up just because you're growing. So I would see these that come up as an indication of you're actually on the right track rather than you're off your path or you're getting derailed. I don't feel that at all from you. I think you are exactly where you need to be. So I think the key here really is, can you allow these negative stories to come up, these fear stories, these doubt stories, these not enough stories, the anxiety? Can you allow it to come up and then also be in your center and see them for what they are, as just stories, rather than getting wrapped up in the moment of, oh, I'm so anxious, I'm believing all of my negative stories? Can you be in a position where you're in touch with your intuition, you're centered, you're aligned, your head is communicating with your heart and your belly, and in that moment, when you're really centered and really aligned, when a story comes up, you can instead say, oh, isn't it interesting that this story is coming up, without really buying into the story itself, right? And then it loses the energy, and then it's easier to flip the script and start using affirmations instead. So just pay attention to your stories that do come up, but see if you can see them for what they are in the moment, rather than being triggered or reactive, because it's just mental noise, right? And part of honing your intuition is recognizing that it's just a story. It's just this thing that the mind has picked up on, and is starting to generate this reality for you, and you don't need that reality. You have the power to change your reality. Reality is not, truth is objective. There's a greater cosmic truth and reality in that sense, but your subjective reality, you can make it whatever you want, and you'll attract those things to you. So change your reality, you can do that. Just change your reality to something that makes you feel more in touch with who you are. Three of Pentacles reversed. This is a restructuring process. So if you guys have any kind of, those of you that do spiritual practices, whatever they are, if you're doing Tai Chi or any other kind of movement-based practice, if you meditate, if you have energy clearing skills, whatever they are, use them. This is just about you kind of upgrading your energy system. That includes your physical body, that includes your intuition in your mind, and that includes the stories that are coming up. Basically, you have a huge opportunity here to totally restructure your body, your mind, and your spirit, so that when you kind of come out of this process, you're viewing reality with different eyes, and that will give you a higher frequency in which you can start to attract the things that you want to you in greater detail, with more, more gusto. It's kind of like if if you're trying to manifest like a free cup of coffee, right now what you're getting is a $2 cup of coffee. But as you kind of come out of this process, if you ask for a free cup of coffee, that's what you're going to get, right? So you don't have to settle for less. Ultimately, I think that's what this process for you is trying to tell you, is you don't have to settle for less. As long as you're aligned with the earth, with the cosmos, with your own soul and your body and your heart, as long as you're listening to your intuition, listening to your helping spirits or guides, and doing the work, taking care of your body, taking care of yourself, as long as you're doing all of that, you are on the perfect track to get exactly what you want. So don't settle for less. Just set out to get exactly what you want, and that's what you're going to do. So I think you are in a great spot. I think you're really in process. You're on the right path. You know what you're doing. You have some stories to look out for, but that's the work this month. So, that's a gift, right? You have an incredible opportunity to hone your intuition, If you are in a relationship or looking for love, things look really good. They look really steady. I just feel a lot of grounding energy from that, but I also feel this visionary capacity that's kind of opening up for you. There's just some kinks to work out, okay? So I think that's all I have for you. Again, if you want to schedule something privately with me, you can do so in the description box below. Like this video, subscribe, and I will see you guys next year in January.